I'm on my way to meet a three-time Premier League winner and England legend who's been prolific during his time stateside. You might just recognise him. Well, fancy seeing you here, Mr. Lampard.
Hello, mate. How are you? Good to see you. Very good.
All good?
Yeah, very good.
Lampard, good hit, super hit. Lampard goes for the chip. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful from Frank Lampard.
Here you are, 38, still going.
Yes, still here. I feel it every morning, actually.
Yeah. Is it beginning to take its toll, do you think?
I think it's a this sounds really negative, like a downward curve after the 30th. I'm sure you know. No, I think, I think I've found myself having to adapt from probably 30, 31 onwards. Yeah. And yeah, it gets a bit tougher, but I think it's probably the love for the game, I think, is the important thing. And so all the tough bits, the extra maintenance of your body and gym work and rest and recovery and stuff is worth it. I think if your mind still wants it, and I do. Yeah. So, I'm enjoying it.
Martinez trying to get on the end of it, does. Header tip by McNamara, and it's finished off by Frank Lampard. Harrison to Lampard, cuts to the right foot. Frank Lampard, his second of the game, and it's 4-0 New York City.
And playing in America, playing in the MLS, is that a little bit probably more manageable, isn't it, than the Premier League, I imagine?
I mean, I think the reality is, and it's the question I get asked here, what's the difference between the MLS and the Premier League? And it's an obvious difference. The Premier League, for me, is the best league in the world. Sort of tradition, great players come in there, lots of money, bringing in the best in the world. The MLS is a growing league, and it's certainly improving. But yeah, of course, it's different, and I think we've got, in the team I'm playing in, we've got some young kids running around, which is great. It's sort of helping me and Pirlo save the legs a little bit, and that's tough, because if you come here and you think it's a holiday, then it's not going to work that way.
Has it been playing for Patrick Vieira, obviously a player that we all know really well, and he was at Manchester City for a while, and coaching the academy team, and he's come here. Tough job, tough start he had as well.
He did have a tough start, and the biggest credit I can give to Patrick is he came in with a real certain idea and a principle. He wanted to play from the back, very new to us as a team. And pre-season and early results weren't great, and he could easily have thrown the towel in and gone, you know what, I'm just going to try and keep it basic. He didn't. He kept doing what he wanted to do. And, you've really seen the team grow, players to grow, they're learning from him. Everybody respects Patrick anyway because of what he did in the game. But I think as a manager, he's proven himself in his own right here. And we're sitting now towards the end of the season in the playoffs, and with a fair chance of doing well. If we play to our best, we could go all the way.
I've been to one or two MLS games, and the atmosphere's kind of somewhat different, isn't it, than the English Premier League?
I think it's a different culture. Again, to go back to the Premier League, it's what we love about it is the sort of rivalry between teams. We play at Chelsea, you go and play at Tottenham, we bring 3,000 fans that hate each other for that.
It's more tribal, isn't it?
Very tribal. Here is the whole culture is the fans come to be entertained. There isn't that rivalry of hatred of the other teams so much and all that stuff. And I quite like it. It's you can take a corner and you don't get called all sorts of names and stuff like that. So you appreciate when you go and play in those conditions.
And I suppose in many ways that the game is growing. Do you think that the fan base is growing for football or soccer or whatever you want to?
No, I can't call it soccer.
Can you not do it yet?
No, I actually do when I'm speaking here, but once you do it, I can't see you.
Get killed, wouldn't you?
I think it's certainly growing. Certainly growing. And the whole thing of walking around, not getting recognised, is getting less and less. The game's global. I think we live in a small world these days. Social media, and it's really caught on here.
Lampard here for the hat-trick. Will it be the first in New York City history? It is!
Ladies and gentlemen, number 8, Super Frank Lampard.
I love it here. I'm loving it. I'm a great life. I'm living in the city. Kids are coming over a lot. Me and Christine are really happy. It's been a great experience. If it ended tomorrow, it's been an amazing experience in terms of that little patch, hopefully, where I've helped us towards getting to the playoffs. But just as a life experience, I know you did it at the end of your career.
Yeah, I got injured a lot as well.
Did you? There you go. It's very frustrating. Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't. I found it. It's probably more for you, I'm guessing, because you went to a really foreign place. Here, it's almost like you're at home with the language, etc. But it definitely broadens your eyes, and I definitely feel a bit more wiser for coming and actually living in a different country and working.
Do you wish, perhaps, now you've experienced living in a different country, perhaps would have enjoyed a spell somewhere in Spain or Italy when you were younger?
Yes and no. The yes is because I would love to have challenged myself. I'd love to have tried to learn the language. I had a bit of interest from really top clubs in Europe, so I think I could have done it in a good way and tested myself. But then I flip it and go, well, what would that have meant? Leaving Chelsea, not being able to be part of an era and a team that eventually won the Champions League and the Europa Cup and titles? No. So the answer is no, basically, because the grass isn't always greener. I had a great career in England, and those memories are my career. They're always with me now.
How's the Premier League perceived here now? Because, you know, we know it's on NBC. There's a lot of games on, and a lot of people watching it. The viewing figures are growing. Is it popular here?
It's massive.
Is it?
Massive.
Yeah.
I watch every game. I mean, you wake up on a Saturday with the time differences. There's a game on at 8, the early kick-off on Saturday. You get a 3 o'clock game. You can get the app where you can watch all the games. You get the 5:30 game at home, which is at lunchtime. So your Saturday mornings are done. You know, you're not leaving the house, a cup of tea, and you just watch them all, and everything comes in, and it's great coverage. All the lads love it. I mean, out here, it's massive, growing really, really fast. Yeah.
And yourself, you keep a close eye, clearly, still on the Premier League. What are you thinking of this season?
Fascinating. I'm loving it. I'm loving watching it. I'm waiting for the Conte era to really kick in, and I think he will. I was excited as a Chelsea man when he came in. I think they needed that discipline and needed that sort of different angle from last year.
Yeah, where do you think it went wrong at Chelsea?
I think people relaxed. I think people relaxed. I think they won the league, and it can happen, and they relaxed. And I think you sort of saw that. And the minute you relax in football, you can't turn it back. You know, you just turn the switch off. It doesn't turn straight on again.
Southampton lead by 3 goals to 1.
And I think that's why I quite like Conte, because he is known as a disciplinarian. He's working them hard in training. I speak to players there, and John and a few of the other lads there. And he's working them hard, he's trying to organise them on the pitch, and I've seen good signs. I think they'll be there or thereabouts, but I'm not sure they'll win it this year. But to get back in the Champions League will probably be seen as a positive if they get in the top 4.
Jose Mourinho, your old boss at Manchester United, has he still got it?
Yeah, he's still got it, of course he has. I think he's still got it, and you know, again, I think he's trying to find the best team. I think improvement here will be to get in the top 4. I'm not sure they can win it with what they've got. Even though Mourinho is a great manager, I think there's something not quite there yet.
Who do you fancy to win the Premier League this season?
I fancy Man City.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I fancy City. I think they bought well. I love Stones. They've got the best goal scorer in the league. And Aguero is a genius of a goal scorer. I loved being there for a year, being around him in training. It's a goal machine. Stand around a little bit in training and then just score goals for fun.
Would you like to play for Guardiola?
Yeah, I would. I look at his passion, I look at how he's got his teams to play, the way they're playing from the back, and I would. And I'd love to even go and watch him take training. I think you can just see how he works on the training ground. We're very forward thinking. I would love to have been part of that.
You've had a fabulous career and a long career. Highlights looking back?
Champions League. I think winning the Champions League is by far the greatest night of my life.
Describe what that feels like to achieve the ultimate club trophy.
You know what? I just got shudders then, you mentioning it. And that sounds corny, but I actually did it. The thing that really resonates is not the game. I don't remember the game very well. I didn't enjoy the game. I just wanted to get a result. You know, like those games, you don't always enjoy them. But to say the flip, I enjoyed the hour or so on the pitch afterwards. With all our fans down one end. I jumped in almost into the cuddle, could smell alcohol everywhere. all the boys had a good day out there. But it was brilliant. I look back on my career and I think we should have won more leagues at Chelsea. We won 3. I think we should have won 5. And we didn't. But we did win that Champions League, and that really sticks out in my career.
Frank Lampard here for Chelsea. Lampard! That could be the championship!
How would you like it to be remembered?
Well, it's not easy to put in a short answer. I suppose hard working. Sort of pride myself on hard work. And I like to think that I've been a good teammate and a hard worker. And I suppose if I look back on my club career, I'd like to be a player that made a difference. Didier Drogba can definitely say that, because he scored in all the cup finals.
So can you, don't worry about it.
But do you know what I mean? That's what I like. But I know people sometimes say, oh, I was in that. Sometimes I would jump on the back and stuff. I like to think I actually made a difference for Chelsea. And I hope people can remember that. I think Chelsea fans do. I feel that. For England, obviously, we didn't quite do that. So I'll go back to hard working for England and very proud.
Frank Lampard on his 609th Premier League appearance leaves the field for one final time.
However long whether you do another year, whether you don't, what does Frank Lampard want to do post-football?
I certainly want to get my coaching badges, and then now the FA have reached out. They say that sentence a lot. Hey, reach out. They've reached out to me to help.
Very American, isn't it?
I'm catching on. So no, they've reached out to help me. Say help me, but they're to sit down and really plan how they can help. Because I said it recently. Some people dig you out for it, but I do think the FA have to help players.
To encourage them into coaching.
Encourage them into it.
The good thinkers,
Encourage it. And you know what? Otherwise, the TV role is a great role. The media role is there. And, people, if you lose them to that too early, maybe you lose them completely. At least give players the option, At the moment, I've got a lot of interest in coaching, and I'd like to test myself at that level. But I'm not making any declarations here, but if I get my badges, I'll possibly do that. I like the media stuff. I've had little bits, of doing media, and I enjoy that too, because I think it's highly skilled now. It's not the old-fashioned game of two halves talk. It's, very deep thinking, and I like that too. So those would be the two possibilities, I think.
Okay. Frank, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
And you. Good man. Thanks, Gary. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, yeah.